secret box. Unlabeled. It's from the Czech Republic. The Czechum Republic. And I don't know why I'm keeping you in suspense, because you've already seen the thumbnail. So let's open it with none other than a Samsung letter opener. This has been on my desk for so long, and I keep forgetting to show it to you guys. This is truly a Samsung letter opener moment. Anyway. Oh, wow. She can do some damage. Yeah. Not bad, not bad. Samsung should really return to the weaponry industry. I haven't seen it yet. I mean, I've seen the pictures, obviously, and so have you. Ooh. Warning. English.
The British are coming!
You know what would be funny is if the warning was different for each language. Like if you speak English, you should keep this bag away from babies and children. But if you speak Italian, nah, no danger there. Go ahead and give it to him. Go ahead and give it to a Bambini. Very fancy. Oh, this is like new. Like, you know, the vacuum from Teletubbies. I wonder if the bag is even OEM. Oh, maybe it's not very new? Whoa. Oh, this feels weird. Yeah, this is not new. Yeah, this is crusty. They did some play testing on this bad boy. Good to know that not only are gamers stinky, but game developers are also stinky. The Xbox Not 360 controller. Wait, so hold up. The triggers are just straight filth, but the sticks? Literally brand new. How does that work? And the D-pad's still got the plastic on it. I'm very confused. Very, very confused. They feel good. They feel like they've never been used. Oh, the ergonomics. It's good, but my fingers are just getting absolutely decimated by the corners of this, what I assume is a rechargeable battery pack.
We made this one up.
Oh, wow. At this point in time, they were already calling this just Xbox 360 controller. There's not really even any markings on here to indicate that this is a prototype. It's even got like the FCC everything here. Huh. Model 1530. And then this might be important. I don't know. What a weird controller. It's all just filthy and dirty in very, very specific areas. Oh, this is so annoying. This battery pack, dude, is making it so I cannot enjoy this controller. But let me grab some more controllers here that we can compare this to. So we've got an original Xbox S controller and an Xbox 360 controller. And this guy would have been right in the middle. And that kind of makes sense just looking at it. Actually, here, we'll swap out this one. I grabbed this one so we can compare like the battery situation a bit, but I'll sub this guy in so it's like the right colors, you know, with the buttons, you know, because this one's all grayscale. D-pad reveal.
Nope.
Oh, take two. And looking at all these D-pads here, sorry, original Xbox, but you are not the father. I don't think the mold had changed really at all from here. Pretty much the same thing. So you can see from the original Xbox S controller, they kind of kept the back and start buttons on the sides. I don't hate that. It doesn't feel like I would accidentally press it, which is good. They're very clicky. Yeah, I don't think I'd ever accidentally press that. And if I needed to quickly pause, I can kind of just yoink, which is nice, I guess. I don't know. You don't hit start very often. Having it up here is fine. Oh, man, I forgot how good this controller is. Oh. There's no home button, which is interesting. So they hadn't gotten that far in the process. Which begs the question, how would you go to home? Because there's a sync button. Also, yeah, look at that, USB port. That's nice. I really wish all Xbox 360 controllers had a USB port. Because even if you have the play and charge kit that plugs into here, it still doesn't work on a computer. You plug the thing in and plug the USB into the computer, you can't do that.
You can't do it, it's disgusting.
It just doesn't work. Like, why? So that's infuriating. But the idea is that we're gonna plug this thing into a bunch of stuff. Into a phone, into a computer, into an Xbox original, and an Xbox 360. And I wanna see what this works on, if it works at all. If it just doesn't work, that would be very sad, because it's kinda cool. I really wish they didn't do this though. I really wish they didn't do this. It's ruining it for me. Also, this material on the back is bad. This is like the inside of a controller. You know when you take a controller apart, but like the inside of the shell will be kind of gross and cheap? That's what this is. This feels like the controller you get with like the RC car from the Hallmark store. But even up here, these button molds look just about final. It's hard to tell. I'm not extremely familiar with the Xbox 360 controller. I didn't even have a 360 as a kid, so it's probably a little different, but it looks the same. The buttons are pretty much exactly the same. So this would have had to be pretty far along in production. Interesting that it's got this big lump at the top here, this big forehead. Because if you look at the curves here, this curve naturally wants to kind of continue downward, like on the real finished controller, and then it just doesn't. It just goes and then goes to the lump. So it's kind of like they already had this design in mind, and then this prototype one like deviated from that? I don't know. I'd be interested to know like when in the development timeline this thing was made. And I will also take it apart, but not before we test it on stuff in case I break it. So number 1, Android phone. I got Dolphin open, got my OTG cable. Let's see. Preparing USB device. You know, in case this USB port was not actually a USB port and it was wired for something completely different, I'm really glad I didn't just like destroy my phone. So does this just work? Not right off the bat in a menu in Android, at least. It's not doing nothing. Device. Which one is prototype Xbox controller? I don't think any of them. Hold on, let me unplug. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 devices. And then I plug it in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cool. So it doesn't work on Android. That is about as far as we're gonna get with that. You know what is kind of funny though, is that you can take an original Xbox controller and plug it in. This one's been hard modded with a regular USB cable. And this does just work. It just works. Look at me now, Todd. And then obviously an Xbox 360 controller is gonna work. Isn't that cool though, that they put a driver for this thing, which didn't even have a USB cable originally? What are they doing? What are they cooking up over there at Android headquarters? So yeah, Android, nope, not gonna happen. But what about a computer? Oh, now that's interesting. It comes up as DC1 controller. 2012 Microsoft Corporation version 0.1. DC1, why is there 3 of them? Okay, well there's no driver, that's the problem. What do you think would happen if we just install Xbox 360 controller for Windows driver? Wait, there's a driver for this? Hold on, we'll test that later. Okay, Xbox controller for Windows, go. Yes. Can it do it? Can it be done? Apparently. But it doesn't show up under control panel, so maybe not. Wait, hold on. DC1 controller, copyright 2012? That was right at the advent of the Xbox One. So, what you mean to tell me is that this is a prototype Xbox One controller? Dude, I'm so confused. Well, in light of the news that this is a Xbox One prototype controller, we're just gonna skip straight to the 360 then. This is a dev kit, by the way, and I cannot test it on an Xbox One, unfortunately, because I do not have one. Just kidding, I got an Xbox One. Does not work. And... nothing. Nothing at all. Well, that sucks. Cool. We got the worst timeline. Doesn't work on anything. Why don't we at least take it apart then? Whoop. Oh. This appears to kind of just be an Xbox 360 controller, sort of. Wait, no. Did the Xbox 360 have haptic triggers? I don't think so. No. No, it did not. Interesting. So they kind of just shoehorned haptic motors into the 360 triggers. Really interesting. But they kept like the same mechanism for the most part. Well, that's cool. Haptic Xbox 360 triggers. Only here, only now.
Localized entirely within your kitchen.
Here's a high-resolution shot of the board for all the preservationists out there. Keep up the good work. And here's the back side. And here's this board. And the other side. Wait a second. Micro USB. Whoa. Huh? Okay, hold on. What is this chip? That appears to be an entire ARM CPU. Highly integrated low power tri-radio Bluetooth MCU with integrated blah, 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 blah. ARM Cortex M4. MCU? So maybe it's not a CPU. Is it a microcontroller or something? I don't know. There's also a very tiny little pin header here.
Who you calling pinhead?
And a spot for a ribbon cable to go right in there. I'm gonna plug in the micro USB to the computer and see what happens. Just said USB UART. So just kind of speculating here. I'm guessing this does all of the processing, and this is literally just the input board. Although, I don't know, because there's all of this stuff. Clean up our trigger filth while we're in here. It makes more sense now as to the design of this thing, now that we know that it was actually a Xbox One controller at some point, so that's why this design is kind of finalized already, as to like the 360 controller and then modified from there. But what'd they do with the home button? Like the 360 had a home button, why doesn't this? Well, I wish there was more I could comment on, but this is all kind of beyond me at this point. That sucks, that it just doesn't like work on anything. I did poke around a little bit at like the raw data stream in Linux that this thing gives off, and it does stuff. And clearly if it says Microsoft device in device manager, it's like communicating something, but I don't know. If there is a driver for this thing that exists and I just didn't manage to find it at this point, let me know in the comments. I'll update this part of the video right here to tell you guys if I ever got this thing working at any point, and then I'll probably show a clip of it working if so. But if this part of the video is still in the video, then we are still on the wrong timeline where I can't get this thing working. And in that case, that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. I didn't forget about testing this, by the way. Dude, this is funny. Look at this. It recognizes it as plugged in. Data can be transferred over, where is it? Over this cable. Look at that. It totally sees it. And then you go to actually do anything with it. Nope, nothing. Can you even turn it on? You can. But it will never connect. I'll even open up the whole Steam Big Picture menu to show you guys that it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. It even says, look at that, it's trying to find player one, but you just can't. You're not allowed. Why?